Hey, everybody, and welcome into Live with Greg this Friday afternoon. I am talking to a nurse here in Tennessee. She just got the COVID-19 vaccine. So many people have been talking about this. The new vaccine, the Pfizer vaccine, has come out this week, and so many doses have been shipped all across Tennessee. And I'm so thrilled to be joined with Kayla Repasky this afternoon. So, Kayla is going to come into the broadcast, and she's over in Nashville. So, Kayla, first off, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm so good. How are you?
I am doing exceptionally well this afternoon. First off, you got the COVID vaccine yesterday. Before we chat, I want to show a quick video of you getting the vaccine. Let's take a look.
I should have let Molly give this to you. Are you ready? Just go. I'm going to just go first. Here we go. Big stick. Hold on. Come on.
And there you go. Kayla Repasky getting the COVID-19 vaccine in Nashville. So, Kayla, first off, how did it feel?
It didn't even hurt that bad. It's just like the flu shot. My arm's a little bit sore today, but it wasn't bad at all.
Any major side effects? And you felt any kind of way?
Not today. No, I feel great. I got my workout in. I've been experiencing no side effects.
For you, you work in a hospital in Nashville. What made you decide you wanted to go ahead and get the vaccine?
I did my research. I talked to my coworkers, and I learned about the vaccine before I even got it. I talked to friends, coworkers, everybody, and I made that choice. I think it's safe. I wanted to be vaccinated. I want to protect everyone around me and my patients, my family. So I chose to get vaccinated.
You've been in the hospital in the heat of COVID-19 over in Nashville. Walk us through what things have really been like inside of the hospital.
Yes, so I actually started my nurse residency in the ICU at the start of the COVID pandemic. So that was insane. I learned a lot. I got an incredible experience that no other nurse starting out their nursing career was going to get. And then I moved into the telemetry unit in my hospital, which I really enjoy. But unfortunately, the COVID numbers are so bad right now that we are getting floated into the COVID units to work. And, I will happily volunteer if I have to, because I know that that need is there. And I'm willing to do it. But it is really bad in Tennessee right now. The cases are higher than they've ever been.
How are you handling all of this mentally?
Mentally, you just got to keep your head up. I mean, even in nursing, I've learned more about myself being a nurse and starting out my nursing career than I ever have. You have good patients, you have bad patients. All of your patients are not at their best. And you always have to remember that, and remember that you are playing a huge part in their care, and be proud of that, no matter what they say or do. And as far as COVID, it's so sad. I mean, family members are having to say goodbye to loved ones, and their family isn't even next to them. It's the nurses next to them, which being in that role is something that I'll never forget. And it's so sad.
When you talk about being next to patients who can't see their families in the hospital, what has that been like for you, being that barrier to relay messages and help the family on the outside of the hospital to connect with their loved one inside the hospital?
Yes, I try my best to update family members as much as possible, because if that were my family member in there, I would want, updates all the time. I'd want to try and see my family member. We try to FaceTime family members so that they are able to communicate themselves, and do as much as we can to make it like their family member was really there in that room with them.
And you just began your nursing career at the beginning of this year. What made you want to become a nurse?
I've always loved people. I've always wanted to help people, and I thought nursing was my best option to help people and be just that role. I wanted to be in that role where I could, talk to doctors and be an advocate for my patient. I am that last fishnet before, I give the medication. And if it's the wrong medication and the doctor ordered it wrong, I need to realize that, and I need to make that call. If the doctor is ordering something that the patient doesn't want, I need to be that advocate. And I love being that person that is the last person to talk to that patient or give that patient the medication.
You just became a nurse, but before you became a nurse, you spent many years in the Miss America system. In fact, you were crowned Miss Pennsylvania 2018. What was that experience like, and how did it prepare you for your career in nursing?
Yes, so I was Miss Pennsylvania 2018, which was so exciting for me. I took an entire year off of school and got to promote my nonprofit organization, Think America. I wrote a children's book that's available on Amazon. It's called Buddy and the Bully. I created a Girl Scout patch, the Think Before You Post patch, and got to just impact so many people, which was incredible. And now I get to continue doing that as a nurse. Probably the biggest thing that I've carried on is as Miss Pennsylvania. Sometimes you just got to roll with the punches. And as a nurse, you got to do the exact same thing. You never know walking into that shift what's going to happen or what kind of patient you're going to get or, what kind of on-the-spot learning you're going to have to do. And it's, the same as Miss Pennsylvania and as a nurse.
When you think about your time as Miss Pennsylvania, a part of the Miss America system is a big partnership with the Children's Miracle Network. How did that experience prepare you for your career in nursing?
That was one of my favorite parts, being an ambassador for all 5 of Pennsylvania's Children's Miracle Network hospitals. The best part was getting to walk in and these patients, these kids have huge smiles on their faces and they call you a princess. They don't do that now when I walk in with scrubs on, unfortunately. But being that person and that to make them happy and to be that impact on them, I try to do it still as a nurse today.
And for people that are watching this afternoon, if someone would like to go into nursing, if there's that kid or that person who wants to pursue this career, what advice would you give them, considering you're just under a year into this profession?
Yes, the biggest advice I would give is that if you want to be a nurse, you will be. Nursing school is very difficult. It was difficult for me. I worried about every single test, just like every nursing student does. But it's all worth it in the end. If you really want to be a nurse and you are willing to put in the work, once you get that license, you pass the NCLEX. One of the most stressful times in my nursing career was passing the NCLEX. But once you pass that test and you walk into your first patient's room with all the knowledge that you've gained, it is so worth it. And just to persevere through that.
So many people, they've had a difficult time this year with COVID-19. I can only imagine what you've seen. What has really kept you going this year throughout all of the sadness and everything that you've had to see this year?
I think mostly I've relied on the people around me, my family, my friends. That support system is definitely what's gotten me through all of this. I moved to a city very far from home. I started a brand new career, and those people are the ones that got me through it. I've called them many times in tears, and I've called them many times so proud of myself when I did the right thing as a nurse. So they've been there through all of that.
And finally, this afternoon, what advice would you give people who are going through the holiday season, who have seen loved ones pass away? They are either dealing with COVID or quarantining. From your perspective and in the medical profession, what advice do you have for them going into the holiday season and into 2021?
My advice would be to wear your mask. That's going to be a huge factor in what happens in the new year with COVID and with the COVID vaccine. It is my hope that, in this next new year, we can hopefully not be wearing the masks. And this vaccine, once people start to get it and it starts to take effect, that we can start to live our lives normally.
And again, this afternoon, if you're just now joining us, Kayla, she got the COVID-19 vaccine, the Pfizer vaccine yesterday. You were one of the first few in the hospital. What was it like when you were finished with everything?
Oh, it was amazing. Everyone, as you walk through, they're all like, congratulations, you just got the COVID vaccine. And that's still, happening today. People are just so happy. Everyone, every nurse, every healthcare provider that was getting that vaccine was having their picture taken. And just the feel in the room was just so happy when I walked in there to get that vaccine. And that was incredible.
For people watching who are still like saying, I don't think I'm going to do it, I don't want to do it, I'm not sure about it, what would you say to them?
I would say it's ultimately your choice, but do your research. I did mine, and I really believe that it's going to help us in this COVID pandemic.
Kayla, I really appreciate you for joining us this afternoon, and you be safe, my friend, and thank you for the work you're doing over in Nashville, keeping so many safe and taking care of so many people that are dealing with illness during this time.
Thank you so much, Greg.
Have a good day, everybody.